cool.
We are
Okay.
very, very, very cool, even though it's very hot. And I know you're going to be hot in a few minutes because you had to shut your fan off. So sorry, man. Sorry.
Air conditioning, I had shut my air conditioning off.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for sacrificing for the greater good here.
No problem.
I had a question for you guys, real quick. I wanted to know. I was kind of thinking. I was like thinking about sort of. I was getting nostalgic. You know, me and Brink and Dust were kind of doing a test run in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group with sort of like doing a video watch along, a movie watch along. We watched Transformers the movie, the '86 animated film. So I was just sort of thinking real quick before we get into our main topics of discussion for tonight. What 80s franchise that you're nostalgic for would you sort of like to see updated in the modern day? Do you have a favorite film franchise from the 80s you'd sort of like to see an update on that they probably haven't done already?
Gem, truly outrageous.
Gem? They did a Gem in the hologram.
They already tried to do that shit.
Movie
Do it again.
franchise. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice. But I think that might have been 90s, but I can't be sure.
All right. I'll take it.
I like to see Pirates of Dark Water done. That'd be awesome.
Oh, Dark Water.
Pirates of Dark Water. Was that a cartoon? Was that?
Yeah,
what
it was a cartoon. Yeah.
Okay.
You never saw that, Jose?
It sounds familiar, but
And
it's
cast
not.
Johnny Depp as the as one of the pirates.
That wouldn't be infringing on that other franchise.
Nah, fuck that.
All right, Gary, do you have one?
So, are you thinking like a movie or a TV show or a cartoon?
It could be anything you want. I think I was thinking sort of like along the lines of cinema, but it could be anything you want: movies, cartoon, TV show.
Cinema.
I'd like to see Three's Company make a comeback with the socially acceptable parameters that exist in 2019.
There's no PC.
in the 70s, where a guy living with two women was a big deal. Where what would that
all
look
the
like
ass,
these days?
all the ass slapping that happened in that show won't be allowed.
Wasn't John Ritter great, man?
Oh, dude.
He has a son that looks just like him too.
His
I don't know if
physical
he
comedy.
Can't be as funny though, or else we'd know him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's another guy. He left us too
Just told
soon.
his son he's a loser.
What I do miss though, I would, and there's a couple shows that, and I know one of them they did do like a TV movie in like 1991, but I do the remake of like Knight Rider or like the A-Team. Those shows where like there was a vehicle that was like a cast member. You know what I mean? Airwolf, right?
I like the remake of the A-Team that they did that movie. I
The
like that.
movie was okay, but I'd watch a TV show.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Back to the Future because I feel like that shit was
Really?
like a perfect trilogy. Like it doesn't need to be remade, but I would like to see that concept sort of.
Don't touch that shit. That's masterpiece.
Is it a perfect trilogy though?
I feel like it is.
I can't watch the third one.
Fucking
For
turns the
real?
train into
Can't
a
watch
time
which
machine.
one, Gary?
The third
The
one,
third
I
one,
can't
yeah.
do
That's
it.
the best one, I think.
The third one is awesome.
You know what?
Go ahead.
In the Wild
No,
West.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't gonna like it because it took place like in the old times, but I thought it was pretty good. The story they told.
That's one of those where I like the first one quite a bit, but I can get through the second one, and I can't sit through the third one. So that, to me, that's like the Matrix, where I'm like, it's better off just pretending it's one movie, and I'm happy with it.
Oh man, yeah.
I like that.
All right. Anybody else?
The one thing I don't like about the third one is how the car is broken.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't have gas.
shouldn't there be a second car at that? I feel like there should be two cars there, but I don't know.
What, the second one or the third one?
In the third one, I feel like because he goes back to the future with the car from he goes back to the past with the car from the future, so I feel like there should be two cars there at that time. That's just, we don't have to get into it. I'm sorry.
It's been a while, but I know what you're talking about, Brian.
Yeah.
But I think something happened to the other car. I think something happened.
Oh,
All right.
Well, they're using it, aren't they?
Yeah, but he goes
Their
back.
past selves are using the car.
But he brings the car back, so it should have been there to begin with. Still,
No, he had to leave. Remember, he had to leave one stash for Marty to get back to the old time, so they couldn't touch that car. You know?
oh, because then he
Alternate
wouldn't be able to come
realities
back, and then you'd have a paradox.
Yep, exactly.
There you go, Jose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Back to the
guess.
Future multiverse.
God damn.
Yeah, but there's no multiverse in that methodology, right? There's effect, cause and effect, and timelines can get
I'm making a joke.
disappeared, right? Okay,
You know what? All this fucking time travel talk's making my.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Who else?
All right. Did everybody answer?
Dave.
I don't really have an answer. You want to know why I don't need anything else to collect. So I'm
Not any of
hoping
those
they don't make
Ewok
anything
movies.
else anymore.
None of those Ewok movies you want to do?
Nah,
You don't want the Ewok special to be remade? You don't want them to
Nah.
have a movie for themselves?
Nah. Honestly, no. They are what they are, and they were meant for my 4-year-old self, not Dave today. I don't want to see no more Ewok movies.
Dave today would be Ewok smoking it up. Yep.
My list would be too long. Because there's a lot.
Really?
Yep.
What's the top of your list?
Name your favorite. Exactly. Name your favorite.
Well, I don't know. Right offhand, I would say the Dune movie. If they would make that into a series, I would be happy boy.
Nice. Hey, well, maybe Disney Plus will have it.
Nah, I doubt it.
All right. So with that, what's up, everybody? Harrican BX here, and welcome to episode 82 of Breaking the Mold. Don't forget, you can find the audio version of this podcast on iTunes and many, many other audio platforms. Please remember to subscribe and leave a 5-star review on your favorite podcast pushing platform, as it really helps the show out. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to the video and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to chop it up with the rest of the ROC fam up in the chat squad. We'll be highlighting a few of the chat squad members throughout the night. Remember to check out the rest of the shows on the Realm Collectors YouTube channel. We have Into the Realm on Mondays, Figure Banging every other Wednesday, and MPSP Theater on Friday nights. All those shows are available on audio as well. So let's say what's up to the rest of the crew. All right, we got Energon Addict. What's up, Pop?
Yo,
I'm taking the hat.
thanks. Tonight I'm in a John Ewok. Okay.
Yep, no.
Jesus Christ.
But, I didn't feel like doing my hair, so I need a haircut. That's what it is. We get this.
Oh, so you just hiding the dew from us. Just
Yeah,
hiding the dew.
fuck that. Like, I'm not putting no gel in my hair after I took a shower. I do that shit every Tuesday. Fuck that. Not this Tuesday.
So what's this? 3 days with you without a haircut? Don't you go?
And
like,
who does
one
Dave
day
think
to
is watching
Thursday?
this show anyway? That he's so worried about his hair.
Me? I gotta look at my ugly fucking mug fucking talking when I'm
There's
on
no-
screen, so I don't
there's-
care about none of y'all. It's just me. I'm vain.
There's
I'm
no
a
girls
vain,
watching.
I'm a vain individual. Brian, what were you saying about the haircut?
It's been only what 2 days. You haircut like every Monday, Thursday,
No,
and Sunday.
every
right?
Thursday, every
Every
other
week.
Oh,
Every other week. Okay. Because if it
Every
was
other
every week, I would definitely consider you a girl.
Oh shit! Damn.
All right.
Shots fired. There's you starting early tonight.
No, some
It's
cut
all
their
good.
hair.
Yeah.
Do they?
All right, Dave. Did you get any favorite pickup in the past week or so?
I've
Anything you wanna?
been low key really lately. I haven't been really purchasing much, but I did get in. And Gary, sorry to if I'm pushing buttons here, but I got my barbarian builders in from Mythic Legion. So,
I might be out on that set. Who knows? We'll see.
dude, yeah. But you want to know something? I mean, I could be wrong. You know, these are new, right? But for me, they stand just like the 1.0s.
No,
Like,
they are
no,
one.
They are the
They are
1.0s. They are the 1.0s.
Wait, but why would they if they're
'Cause
remaking them? Why
Dave,
wouldn't
Dave,
do them?
they accidentally
now?
they accidentally made the male barbarians. They were supposed to make the female barbarians.
I get it. So you're telling me there's a mold difference?
From the female to the male, yeah, of course.
No.
they have titties.
I'm saying from the characters they're doing now have the same body shape. Am I correct?
Oh, you mean some of the
From the All Stars or the AOD. Some of them they have the
Well,
same body
They're
shape.
they're all the same.
But what's the
they're all the
question?
same. Yeah.
Right, but they're stiffer than the 1.0 stuff was. So now you're making you're making okay, I get it. It's the original mold from 1.0, but then you're telling me that it's just going to be just as loose as the original one?
Okay.
Eventually.
Yeah. So are you saying the same buck from the male barbarian with figures that you received in AOD have standing issues?
Well, no, like so. Let's say Soul Spiller, right? The most recent one that came out with the Fury
Okay.
Orc. Same buck
Yep,
as
yep,
the
yep, yep,
as the barbarian builder.
Close to
His
it.
legs are much stiffer than the
Dude.
barbarian builder.
No, my Fury arcs are weak compared
Really?
to the rest.
I guess it's just a
Mold degradation.
Well,
yeah.
I wouldn't know because
Very
Thursday will be 30 days, and I've got a pre-shipment label that was printed on the 7th, and that's as far as it's gone. So
He's fallen from my shelf every day of the week so far. He's on the floor right now. I'm looking at him. Hey, buddy.
Your Fury Org?
No, I'm a fucking barbarian builder.
Because he's drunk. He had too much fucking beer, dude.
I mean,
those
look,
guys drink.
For all you get with that figure, it's well worth the money, and it looks cool. But for it not to stand, kind of pisses me off a bit.
Dave, just go steal some nail polish from your wife's bathroom. There.
All right, and what? Make it stiffer?
Yeah,
Make it
make
stiff.
it stiffer.
All right.
You
Yeah.
don't, Dave doesn't need nail polish to do that.
Make it watch Pornhub. Maybe it'll stiffen up.
Yeah. just skeet all over. You'll be fine, Dave.
All right. Well, all right. Moving right along. The Analyzer Brian prank. What's up, dude?
Hey, happy Left-Handers Day, everybody.
Look at the left-hand guy.
Just do that.
You
His day.
left-handed?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Hey, don't you? Wow.
what about the rest of you guys?
And he called him a friend.
Is there
Chris
no
is left-handed.
I'm a righty. All the way.
I'm a righty.
I'm run of the mill. What righty? Righty whitey.
So it was nice to have our special day. Thank you, Jisk, for shitting on my special day in the chat. That's very nice of you. So whatever, you can suck it. And yeah, so that's that.
Any favorite pickup of the week?
Left-handers are more prone to psycho diseases and disorders and whatnot. So,
No. What?
yeah, I mean, so chances are, I mean, you may get a different Brian Brink every time you talk to him. You never know. So,
All
Is that
right.
a threat?
hey, look, Dave can contest that.
Yes,
You
yes.
definitely get a different person at 11 a.m. while you're bugging him in a chat while he's trying to do his job than now, like on a podcast.
I thought I was going to see a fight this weekend. I was ready to make a
Wear many
promo.
hats. Dave and I are going to get a beer this weekend. It's
It
gonna be
w-
great.
It was just me and him in the room when it started because you had stepped away, Jose.
Mhm,
I said,
mhm.
Brian, do you like me? He goes, yeah, I like you, Dave. I'm like, I don't think you like me.
Brian's that guy that you have to confirm if you like him, if he likes you, because you don't know every given hour. He can not like you or like you.
I'm trying to think if I have any tells on whether or not people can figure out
Dude,
if I like
you
them.
have no tells, Brian.
Yeah.
Straight face, crazy motherfucker.
I don't want people getting a read on me, so it's fine.
No. All right. Next up, we got G Money. What's up, dude?
what's going on? Let's see. I have some pretty big. Well, did I get anything? No, I didn't get my Barbarian Builders. I did get the Street Fighter 2 Storm Collectibles. How do you say his name? Sagat.
Sagat. Yeah.
Sagat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's pretty cool. But no, the biggest news is I'll share with you guys is the Allen family is going to be moving down to Florida. So
Pam, pam, pam.
yeah, got the official, kind of stuff in the works the last few weeks, and finally got everything squared away. So that's pretty exciting. So looking forward to while on paper I'll leave my New York brethren. We all realize that it's been kind of a facade of me pretending that I live in like real New York and not Southern Canada this last year. So
The sixth borough.
it is, yeah.
Yeah.
It's only 3 hours away from the trendiest restaurants in Manhattan.
Now you're moving. Now you're moving to the seventh borough.
Yeah. So no, so that's pretty exciting. So it's it's one of those things where it's stressful and there's like 1,000 moving pieces, but it'll be worth it this time. And this move should be a bit more, definitely be more permanent for as permanent as life can be, I guess. So
Yeah.
so it's
Gary,
good.
I'm kind of happy for you, but I'm kind of sad too. You're moving far. Why couldn't you move somewhere cool where we could go visit you and stuff like
Dude,
move to Colorado
like
or Montana
Delaware.
or Idaho?
I want to be near the beach.
I mean,
I wanna
move
get to-
Florida. You're never going to get a decent pizza again for the rest of your life. If you
I'll have to come back to New Jersey. So.
He'll be flying in instead of driving in now. You know.
It's like
Nah, but-
fucking DiGiorno's for you, buddy.
It's exciting though. Like it's got me, not just all the life changes. Anyone who's done a big move like that, multiple times, like there's a lot of stress that goes with it. But we're gonna get a house again. Go
You're a
ahead.
gypsy. You're just traveling the world.
I called him that. I said my
I know
friend's
you did.
nomad.
I told you. I want to be like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, where he just travels from bar to bar and fixes their problems and then moves
Where's
on
he-
to the next one.
Where's your stick and bag? And just like
Gary, we're getting you a gift certificate to Tires Plus then, if that's the way you
Right.
need.
Yeah.
You're
No.
gonna-
No. So,
Hmm.
but no, I'm looking forward to getting like back into a house for a lot of reasons, but getting a real collection room back together, and I think that will certainly spark a lot of interest and topics and discussions for me again. So that's cool.
That's cool, and that's actually pretty interesting to say that because I think in a sort of roundabout way, it's sort of related to what we're going to be talking about tonight. So it'd be interesting to hear your perspective because you might actually be feeling the question that we're going to be asking tonight. So we'll get there.
And I don't want to get too I'll stop in a second tangent, but it's pretty cool. I mean, we talk a lot about the ROC being about people, and whether you talk to people in the chat or through Messenger or through the Wellness Challenge, where I got to know people, or the events. We got NJCC coming up this weekend and TFCon. But what's awesome is there's people in the community that are going to be like an hour away from the area that we're going to be looking to move, and that's a first for me to like have friends nearby already. So that'll be pretty cool. So it's a nice way. I know we've talked a lot about when collecting in real life kind of cross paths, but it's one of the real life benefits I think of being involved in all the community pieces. So it's pretty awesome.
it's just unfortunate that the two people that are there by you are 15 minutes away from each other and they haven't even met each other at all.
Sometimes you need a little motivation, so.
Do it, Gary.
Gary,
Do
Gary,
it.
to
Be
grease the
clue.
wheels there.
Be the clue, Gary.
So are you kidding? We're all going to be going to the gym together.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
and you guys know who are down there.
Grammar.
Well, shout out to Big Time Moves, man. Good luck with everything, dude.
Thanks.
All right. Everybody's favorite pigment surgeon, the king of all meat bags himself,
Hi, meat
JD.
bag.
What's up, dude?
Hi, me bags.
Mhm.
How we doing today?
Good.
How are you, man?
Doing pretty well. Just hanging out. I thought I was going to take a nap before the show started, but I guess not.
No.
No, I got home and
Got the fucking life.
Chan and the kids they were watching Waiting. So I'm like, yeah, I'll have to stay awake.
Last time I took a nap, I was 6 years old.
You mean the movie with Ryan Reynolds and Dane
Yeah.
Cook?
Yep.
That's pretty funny.
Gonna show Dom my goat.
Show me goat.
Yeah.
Get that shit away from me. I lived on a farm.
Oh,
Not the same goat.
Oh, I gotcha.
he knows what it's like. Yeah. So, any favorite pickups of the week, if in case you got a big pile?
Well,
It's in your hand.
I got this
Oh, you picked it up from
that's,
GameStop?
the GameStop
Gears 5.
exclusive
Mhm.
collectibles.
Is that a
Marcus
Marcus Phoenix?
Phoenix. It is a
Ooh,
Marcus Phoenix.
nice.
How is it? How is it, JD? Good.
It's pretty good. He's it's a little weird trying to get his arms in the position of holding two-handed poses with a rifle or whatever, but I mean
Must
Storm
be a lefty.
Storm man. They
gets there. The scope is beautiful.
yeah, it moves just like you would expect any storm to.
Hmm.
It's a beautiful figure.
Yeah, I saw
Like-
that this past week.
Yeah, I did too. I've got the regular Gears, Phoenix and Cole on pre-order, so I
Yeah.
tried to be disciplined and not buy it, but I was really tempted.
Yeah, but it's pretty awesome. So he
Nice.
comes with all kinds of stuff too, fucking grenades and a knife, pistol, shotgun, and he has two different
Are they
two different lancers.
are they lined up to do some of the bad guys, or like the evil guys?
The
in that
locust.
game?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That would be
I
cool.
hope that would be awesome.
Some of those guys are ugly as all sin.
Yeah, get a Ra or what was his name or AA something.
Mhm.
General Ra, I think.
I used to love those games, man. Back like in
played the first
2006,
two, yeah.
2007. Like I used to do night shift back in those days, and every single morning, coming home, by 7:30, 7:45, and I'd hop on, and my boys would be on, and we'd like just be fucking playing multiplayer till like 2
Mhm.
p.m. And I'm like, I gotta go to bed.
Motherfuckers' heads.
It was
That
so
was
much
the-
fucking fun, man.
Give me the torque bow and a sniper rifle, man. I'm fucking set.
I was gonna say that was the only reason I had an Xbox for those couple years. It was the only game I actually played was that, and then I got hooked into reading all the novels that came out. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
They're dropping a new game, right? Like
Yeah.
soon, and it has
Yep.
like some kind of like Terminator crossover going on with it or something like that. I saw. Did you guys see that?
Yeah, there's something with Terminator. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even see that. I'll look into it, but that's sort of like the only thing that's gonna probably pull me back into like getting an Xbox would be to sort of play that franchise, just because it's an exclusive. But I loved it, man. I love that shit.
Xbox is better anyway.
I don't know about that. We'll
Yeah,
table that.
JD.
Way
We'll,
more
we'll,
user friendly.
we'll table-
User friendly.
we'll table that discussion for another.
Yeah, we better table that discussion.
Yeah, well,
fucking
because
PlayStation sucks.
Thanks, Tom.
It does, dude. Man, I remember playing Call of Duty, man. I used
Stop
to
it.
fucking
Stop
feel
it.
challenged in Call of Duty on Xbox.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
when I went to play PlayStation, it was like playing with kids. I get
No.
nukes every fucking time.
No, don't say that. Don't say
Yep,
that.
I'm saying it, Jose. You're playing with kids.
Listen, I
Play
don't.
with
I,
the adults.
I don't have any fight in the game because I usually do pick up all the systems. But then, like in the past, like I would say, like 8 years, like in the last two console generations, like last generation, I had both, and I just saw myself playing the 360. Now this generation, I got the PS4, and most of the games come out on both systems, and I'm not even playing games as much as I used to. So I'm just like, it's not worth it to me to have both because I'm just not gaming like I was 10 years ago.
Gotcha.
So. And they both play Blu-rays and do all that shit. Remember back in the day, that was the thing. The Xbox
That
would
was the
play it, but the
PlayStation. Yeah,
PS3
PlayStation
did.
3 didn't have the Blu-ray. Yeah.
So the line is not as blurred as much anymore. So it's like you almost don't need that one system over the other, unless you do need you're a diehard fan of those exclusives that are exclusive to those particular systems. So.
I'll
Better,
speak
man.
on by experience. I have both, and Xbox is way fucking better. Kills it. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, they were the
Jesus has
innovators.
spoken.
They
Jesus
were
has
the
spoken.
they were the innovators back in the day as far as like getting the online aspect of the video gaming up and running, because PlayStation was a little bit behind the curve in that regards back in the day.
That's
You
where
know?
that's where I saw it. I saw it in the multiplayer. Like when I played or got onto Call of Duty, I had an Xbox 360, and I was just the competition on multiplayer with Call of Duty was just more intense with regards to then play PS3, because at PS3, and I was just I'll go over play with my brother-in-law, and I would get a lot higher kill streaks and stuff like that on PS3 than I would get on Xbox 360.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, Dom, what was your name on the Xbox on the 360?
Go fuck your mama. Just joking. My name was Lord Chumley 50.
Lord
And
Chumley.
if you know the reference, I know Brian might know the reference.
On stars.
Yeah. Well, that's
No. There was an
Oh,
episode.
Lord
in
Chumley, that
Yeah,
episode. Yeah.
yeah.
there was an episode in Transformers that Optimus Prime was getting hunted by Lord Chumley.
Mighty good
So
show.
he was. So I was looking for a kind of a hunter name, like somebody in regards to hunting, and I chose Lord Chumley.
All right. So, I mean, real quick, Don, before we get into your full on intro, we'll ask the chat squad: PS4, Xbox One. What's your favorite console system for this current generation? And so, Dom, how you doing, bro? We'll wait for them to answer. How you doing? What's going on?
I'm good. Figure that I've recently got that's been I got those Mezco Gomez's, so I've been fucking around with those. There's beautiful figures. I've been messing around with the Street more than the Agent, but it's just those two figures are so the buck on it and the articulation on it's really cool. So I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I saw some pics over the weekend. That's sort of, like I said, I'm like, man, what's the appeal of that figure? Whatever, because it's just sort of like the mascot for Mezco itself. But seeing some of the accessories that it came with and some of the figure photography people were doing, I thought it was pretty good stuff.
Yeah, it's a good buck, right?
Yeah, it's the Spider-Man buck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, there's no if you're not into Mezco and don't understand, that's their mascot. It was just nice them, when they put it out, just the rarity of the first one and all the hoopla and hype that came over it. But just seeing it and what it came with and all the goodies and stuff that it had, I thought it was pretty cool. So.
Nice. Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, some of the chat squad are chiming in, chat winging them, saying
Switch.
PlayStation. Dust Smites is he's the Xbox guy. He's Xbox One, son. Bots and these guys. He says PS4, Rogue War 71, PS4. So we got varied opinions here. PC for Collecticon. Look at that. I know PC is usually considered superior, but I've never really done any kind of PC gaming. So I'm always been a console guy. Sorry. I know there's sort of like a divide there in the gaming community. With PC gaming and console gaming. So I'm not about that drama. Don't bring me in. Jarrett in the chat. Xbox One for sure. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
Brian Brank, look at this. Nintendo DS for life.
I just finished Ocarina on Sunday. I was pretty happy about that.
Nice. I dug the DS also. Like, I got an emulator for it, but it feels weird like when you're like on the TV and you're trying to run an emulator for the DS because you see the two screens. It's just, I don't know, doesn't work the same.
The one thing with that DS, so like back in the day playing a Game Boy, you know how your fingers get all cramped, but that DS, man, my thumb gets bad. It fucking hurts.
That's it. Like,
it's funny you say that, Brian. I tried playing video games like maybe about a few weekends ago, and my hands hurt. Like I fucking feel like I got arthritis and shit. Like I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Cramping up. Like I'm trying to play a game and you got certain levels where you have to like get up quick and you have to constantly press it. By the time it was done, my fucking thumb was all cramped up and I felt like a cripple.
Are you guys like? I know we don't really talk a lot about video games here, but how many of you guys on the panel are regular video game players? Like
me?
Not I.
So Gary, you don't play on a regular, but not at all. Do you
I've got nothing. I had an Xbox 360 when it was like the thing to get. What was that, like 08 ish? And really for the Gears of War. And then I played this other game called Fear 2. It was a sequel. And it was creepy as hell. It was kind of like, did you know what, Dave? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was really creepy. Like you're in like the abandoned like schools and stuff, and it's like it was just creepy. And I remember staying up late like playing that. But I was never an online gamer either. So even like the Gears, I was just playing like the what they call it, like the story mode, like campaign, I guess, or story mode. But then once I kind of finished that, it's weird. I read the books as they came out, and then I found myself too emotionally connected to the characters, and then as they got to like Gears 3, I kind of lost interest.
I was
done there.
After Gears 3 is sort of where I started to fall off too. Like I know they had like what is it? It was like one of those side games, right? JD?
Dude, that was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
I didn't finish that game. It was so bad.
And then I know they did an official Gears 4, I think, when this Xbox One came out, but I don't own the system, so I don't know how that was received. How was that received generally?
I played the campaign. I think that's the one I played when Marcus is gone. It's his son now, right?
Yeah, JD Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they trying to get him. Like he's in it, and
Yeah,
Like they're
I
trying
think
to
they're
get to him or
trying
something like that. Yeah.
I
I didn't finish it, but it was pretty dope.
I didn't play 4 yet. It's on Game Pass right now, but I did have. They put up the Gears 5 beta up. If you have Game Pass, like I played that, and it's what you expect. You know, it's nice and smooth. I don't think it's the same company doing the Gears games anymore, but it's good.
Dude,
I like it. It's fun.
All right, so JD, you're a gamer. Dom, I know you game sometimes. You own a system,
I game
right?
sometimes. Like I played the shit out of Jason when it came out. I enjoyed that a
Friday the
lot.
13th. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
playing that a lot.
A lot. Yeah, it was fun.
Fun.
I played a shitload of Call of Duty when it came out. I got hooked on it. When one night I just literally went over to my brother-in-law's house, and all his friends were playing it, and I just got hooked to it, and I ended up playing that a lot, and I went through several series, but then I just dropped it. I haven't played it for once it started bouncing off walls and shit like that. I gave up. I couldn't handle it.
All right.
Keep the boots to the ground, man. Boots to the ground.
Yeah, I played like that Titanfall game was sort of like it's a first person shooter, but it is futuristic, so you can do the wall runs and you got like a double jump, so it's not like playing like Call of Duty if you're sort of used to that type of gaming and stuff. Brian, you've mentioned sort of like the Nintendo handheld stuff. Is that the type of gamer you are?
Yeah, so I was only allowed to have a Game Boy as a kid. I had a ton of games for it, which was kind of fun, but it's kind of sad. All my gaming stuff is like I bought a Genesis when I finally had enough money to get a Genesis and get a ride to a store to buy a Genesis, and I bought it just to play John Madden 93. So if you think about the year, right? So like it was a long time before I got a game, and then I bought Ocarina of Time for my brother as a Christmas gift when he was a little kid, and we got to playing it. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy an N64 just to play Ocarina of Time. I remember that. I remember I bought a used PlayStation 2 just so that I could play that Transformers Armada game. Remember that?
I do remember that.
Yeah, that was the best Transformers game for the time.
Yeah.
And then they made that Lego Star Wars game for it for PS2, and I was like, sweet. And then when I went to play it, it wouldn't work. It was like it had like a blue back or whatever. So I ended up having to go buy a brand new PS2 to play that. And let's see, and then what happened after that? I ended up I went to visit the family for Thanksgiving. My brother got a Wii and we played Mario Kart. So the day later when I got home, I bought a Wii just to play Mario Kart.
So you're saying your first experience with Mario Kart was on the Wii?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then it's like then I played some Rock Band with that and whatever, and you know what it was? The GameCube. I bought the GameCube just to play the Robotech game. I worked at Circuit City at the time. So it's funny, I'm only buying consoles just to play the game. Eventually I'll buy a Switch just so I can play Zelda, and I just bought a Nintendo DS so I can play Ocarina of Time whenever the hell I want. So my gaming is fucking lame.
They'll probably
and
put
I play
Zelda
Sudoku on my phone when I can't sleep. That's the video game I play. So, yeah, am I a gamer? Probably not.
All right. Well, you've played, man. So at least you've done that. And Dave, what about yourself? Did you answer? Like, how hardcore?
I think I did, but I'm more of a first person shooter. So it was like Call of Duty, Night of Renset, Modern Warfare 2. That's what got me into it. I started playing that, and then Modern Warfare 3, I think. And I bought the rest of them after the fact, but I only did the campaigns because I stopped playing online. Okay. But I was just a big online dude too, so it was all about like trying to get better and getting as many kills as you can get and talking shit, becoming one of those dudes. Because when I started, you would get killed constantly because you know what you're doing.
Get your kill death ratio.
You find your weapon. You find out the little sneaky hiding places. You got people that just camp and then move to the next spot, but it was fun, man. You guys got like the juices flowing right now. It's like I want to start again, but what I found is when I started playing, and you all been to my house, my setup in the living room, my fucking TV is so far away from the couch. I can't play games like that for some reason. I need to be like right next to it.
You want to
like,
be
right
on it, yeah, so you could just
Right.
take in the whole
Yeah,
experience.
you're
right?
immersed into the fucking game and you're in it. You know, that was the best part of it for me. But I used to play Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a great game.
Yep. Yep.
I remember going out of work 2 days in a row just to fucking finish that game. Yeah,
There's
Yeah.
so much to do in that game. It's so crazy.
There is. Yeah.
So you were more gaming like on the last gen, not so much like on the current generation of systems now, right?
Well, I have an Xbox One. I just don't use it. I still buy
Don't-
games, but I'm buying them like after the fact when they're like $20. You
Oh,
know what I
that's
mean?
Best time to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
So,
my
like-
strategy now. Yeah.
So like I recently got Battlefront 2 because I never bought it. But in order for me to play Battlefront 2, I have to delete Battlefront 1, which I haven't beat yet. So I'm like, I gotta fucking beat this game before I can play the next one. Because unfortunately, you only have so much memory on that. So
Yeah, I'm having the same issue with the PS4 because my system is only 500 gigabytes, and then some of those games are like, with all the DLC, 90 gigs. Like, so you have 4 or 5 games on the system, you're done. You got to start deleting if you want to download another one. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Dom, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. JD, do you remember the GameCube had like the Rogue Squadron games?
Yeah.
Did you ever get the game? Oh, those fuckers
Yeah.
were
Yeah,
awesome.
those Rogue Squadron, and then
That was
the
like I know like there was
Pod
other games.
Racer.
Yeah,
The
I know
Force
that, like,
Unleashed was a good game.
the Force
too.
Unleashed was really good for Star Wars.
I
Yeah,
have,
it
I
was
have
really
those
good.
on my. I have those on my Xbox One.
You know what's another game I play that's kind of annoying that I have to mention because it's like very mythic. The Shadow of Mordor game.
Oh, yeah.
You guys ever
Yep,
played that?
yep.
So both of
I didn't
those
know what I
games-
was doing at the beginning, and I just kept picking fights with orcs, and they keep coming back
They keep
stronger
coming.
to fuck you up. And that would just keep happening over and over again, where the game got to a point where I couldn't beat it anymore. And then I realized I'm just go along with the story. Stop fucking picking fights with everybody you see. You know, before you know it, you got like fucking 50 orcs following you through the
gotta
fucking game.
strategize to get through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but both of those games are on Game Pass right now. If you have an Xbox, and
For
you have-
free.
Yep. If you have Game
I
Pass-
own them. I bought the sequel too. I have it. I just haven't beat it. So.
Yeah. They're fun.
Chuck saying still going from ColecoVision. Never
Oh,
stopped.
dude, ColecoVision is the shit.
Hey, looking at with the Atari 2600 adapter. Nice. That's old school. So, all right, pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, I got the PS4. I didn't get the Xbox One yet, but like I find myself just using it more for the other like media services that you could get, like all the little streaming services. And I just find myself sort of gaming less and less. But Dave, like same thing, just sort of like adopting that strategy instead of being like the first guy to get the game straight out the box, just waiting that 5 or 6 months and wait for that game of the year edition so you could just get it with all the DLC for $30 and
Mhm.
and just keep it on the hop. So, I guess that's just a smarter way to do it.
Yep.
And, I would buy those games on day one and spend the $90 for the DLC, and then I play for like a week, wouldn't touch it again for months, and then the next time I play, it's discounted. So I'm like, what did I do? Why did I do that for? So it's sort of like what we do with our collecting habits and stuff like that. It's just sort of getting smarter, smarter and smarter as we move along. So. All right, that's pretty cool. Nice little impromptu video game discussion. I know like I said, we don't talk video games a lot, so I just was interested to find out how much do you guys like actually play. I know like Dust, JD, Dom, like you guys would have some Realm Nights where on the Xbox One playing Friday the 13th, getting everybody like up in there and stuff. So I know you guys had a lot of fun doing that. So
Yeah, it was a good time.
That was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Cody would join us, and
Cody and
Greg from Mercy would be there.
Greg from Mercy.
Jisk and his brothers, and a whole bunch of fucking people.
Get in the car!
Any you guys ever play PC games on the computer? Or just console?
Larry the Lounge Lizard.
Yo, I play this fucking game on my phone. It's the only game I play on my phone because I was at a barbecue one time, right, with my wife's family. So all the kids were playing this game, and I said, I'm gonna download it just to, have something to do and have something to talk with the kids with. It's called Battle Cats. Okay, so basically, your enemies have to get to your castle and you have to get to their castle, but you're little cats and you have to fight your way, and you get like weird cats with like special abilities and shit. I still play. I play every day. I make sure I get my free shit every day. You know, my free fucking chances to get like a fucking rare cat and shit. But it's gotten to the point where it's so hard that I have to backtrack. I'm backtracking now, playing from the beginning because there's no way of beating the levels that I'm at now because it's just too hard. But Battle Cats, man, that's where it's at.
Nice.
Yeah, I used to play with my friend back in the day. It's an adult game, but when we were kids, his father had it, and it was called Larry the Lounge Lizards. It's basically a single guy trying to get. It's like a kind of a simulator where you walk around town and you try to literally get a girl and get her into bed, and that's basically
Like
your
in
objective.
college or something.
Yeah,
You must have lost a lot, right?
Oh, dude.
I think I
funny 'cause
remember that. I think I remember
there was
that.
nudity, there's nudity. Yeah, there's nudity. There was nudity and everything. So it's like you walk in town, you go into bars, you have to say the right things and like try to get the girl back to your house, and it was really funny game.
That was back on the PS2, right?
No, that was a PC game. It was a PC game we were playing.
I think it eventually
ported it?
came to I think they eventually ported it to Xbox and PS2.
I think the Bad Squirrel, or is it Bad Fur or whatever? What's that game?
Bad Fur Day.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that game is based off of Larry and the Lounge Lizards.
I got it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game was funny. I used to love that shit back in the day. Like that was a cool game to play.
Isn't it similar? Like he's trying to pick up women and stuff and gets in trouble and
Well,
stuff.
it's just just the characters are like a little crude, like because it's all cartoony and stuff like that. So you're not expecting all the vulgar language and the violence and all. The
Same thing. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, pretty interesting. All right, so before we move into the next topic, guys, just gonna remind you on some of the other shows that you could watch and subscribe to here on the Realm of Collectors YouTube channel.
I love that shit.
Shout out to Dust for putting that together. That is pretty dope when they debuted that last night on Enter the Realm. You know what I'm saying? So pretty cool. So Dave, you in our BTM chat, you came up with a pretty interesting topic to sort of discuss tonight.
I did.
So damn.
Oh wait. Okay, but you worded it better. So I'm
No.
find where you worded it.
No, I got you. So, I'm glad you did it. Just something interesting to discuss for tonight because I think all of us could have some pretty interesting answers. So Dave, the way Dave was basically putting it is, do you guys think you would feel any differently about your collection if you decided or were forced to take, let's say, one full calendar year off from collecting? How do you think you would feel like if you had to do something like that? Dave, since you thought of it, is this something that you've thought about before? Like, what do you think on that particular topic?
So, I thought about it in a few different ways, right? So one was, all right, if I took a break, and when I say a break, I don't mean like, because it'd almost be impossible for me to just stop like cold turkey today to stop collecting and buying, but maybe just not buying anything new and just keeping with the stuff that I have pre-ordered. And I said, if I don't pick up the new stuff and I only get the stuff that I already kind of pre-allocated and stuff like that, will my collection kind of like get outdated after a while? Like it's only a year's time. I know it's not a long time. But believe it or not, like at least in Transformers, a lot can change in a year, and we've seen it, So I feel like, hey, if I give up for a year or just put it on pause, when I come back to it, I know I'm gonna probably be trying to play the catch up game even if I want to, or my stuff's just gonna be like old stuff. It's gonna be outdated, and also it could also take me to somewhere I don't want to necessarily be, like what I mean by that is like I might lose interest.
Yeah,
Like-
that's the question I was about to ask. Is like, do you think like, I mean, a year doesn't seem like a long time, maybe for some people, but you know, after going a certain amount of time without something, you might find you know, something else that might pique your interest, that might take, you know, your focus away from the collecting, even though you just know you're taking a break. So is that something that you worry can actually happen in that year that you decide to take a break?
I was just going to say, I think it will totally happen. This question like really hits home. So we moved to New York, my wife and I, we had a house in Delaware and we were only there for like a year and a half. And so my real collection, I've always said, was in a house a few years ago in Massachusetts. That was probably the most extensive. But in preparing for this most recent move, knowing that we were going to rent and be in an apartment for, you know, probably a year to a year and a half, rather than pack stuff up and put it in storage, you know, I sold a lot of stuff. And, you know, Dave's been here to our apartment. He's seen I have literally like a sofa table in the one room that I rotate stuff around to try and stay interested with it. But I will tell you, it not having the right place to display. I give you guys credit. I don't know how you did it and kept it in storage for so long or kind of in anticipation, because it 100%, if it's not out, like I'm not really that interested in it. And it's not about maybe losing interest, but there is something that is enlightening to not have so much physical stuff to think about, I guess. And now that we're on the verge of moving again, well, I'm excited about setting up a new room and what is that display going to look like. Like I don't feel like I missed out on anything because there's always so much new stuff coming out. You know what I mean? So.
Mm-hmm. And I think you were that type of collector that you never really felt beholden to get everything anyway. So did you feel like you were still able to pick and choose the pieces you want, even though you didn't have the space to display it all?
Well, so what I want, I chose stuff that I could interact with a little bit more in the setting. So kind of like what you do, Jose, some of the things that you like, something that you can, you know, have the room for, you can mess around with on the couch. I stopped buying Hot Toys here because I didn't have the right respectful way to display that type of product or anything really, you know, large, right? I kind of got away from a little while. So it definitely changed. And I just found I didn't need as much because I knew I didn't have that much space to do anything with it. But I won't lie, it feels pretty good knowing it's one less thing I have to think about in great detail. Mm-hmm. You know, with this upcoming move again, where people stress about packing their stuff up and is it going to get damaged? Do they transform it back? Do they do all this stuff? But it's a fine line for sure, because there's been some times where I'm like, do I really need to buy more of this stuff, or could I do something different with the money? You know?
Yeah.
That's what I've been thinking, Gary, is like do something different with the money. Because like right now I got some things in my life that are going on. Like I have to give my car back soon, and you know I'm not getting a new lease for free. That money has to come from somewhere, and it's coming up very shortly within the next few weeks. And that's why I've been a little frugal lately with my spending with the toys, because it's like shit. Like I don't want to have to go into my savings and or you know take away from anything else just to pay for that. So I said, okay, so this is my hobby. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take a step back from my hobby and do what I just said I would do if I was gonna take a year off. Would be I'm just keeping up with my pre-orders and trying not to purchase anything new. And it's hard because, you know, in the lifestyle that we all live and that I live, you know, the addict himself, you know, I'm constantly just looking at toys. And when I see something go for a decent amount and I say, oh shit, I got to jump on it. Cause if I don't, I'm going to be paying, you know, a higher price later on. I'm usually the guy that says, fuck it, I'll make it work, you know? Yeah. But lately I haven't. Lately I've been like, no, Dave, you got other shit going on, you know, and you need the money for other things. So,
well, the one way I know I didn't lose interest was when I went to your house, Dave. And I remember like that night I stayed up in your collection room and just like you have behind you, the DTOS were lit. And I remember staring at your wall, right, essentially of all your displays there. And that's when it kind of, I'm like, yeah, no, I still love this stuff though. You know what I mean? As much as my personal situation was a little different for right now. Like I liked that, you know, and I forgot how much I missed being able to sit in a real area and enjoy all the stuff. And when I saw JD's Cribs video that one time, I watched it like 4 times. I'm like, God, this looks like so much fun to be, you know, have stuff that you enjoy around you like that. So, you know, I guess that's how I know that I still have the interest, even though the circumstances were a little different for the year. So,
yeah. And I just took a break. I took a few days off of work, and I was mainly spending it with the family, devoting my time to them, doing things with my daughter, doing things with my wife, and not spending an hour or two up here like I try to do, here and there. And I probably wasn't in this room for a week until this past Sunday. And I was in the room and I was like, shit, I played with my shit for 2 hours. I fucking shit that fell down, I picked up. Shit that was displayed one way, I moved another. And I said, you know what, Dave, this does relax you. You enjoy it. And maybe you staring at them and looking for deals online isn't the way to go. It's just trying to enjoy what you have. And then when you really do need something, that's when you look. And I said to myself, I don't need nothing right now, so stop looking. And that's what I've been doing. I've been putting the phone down and focusing on other things, you know?
Toy detox.
Yeah.
JD, I know you collect a lot and stuff. So like with that question, is that something you could realistically like fathom? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this something you could even think of taking a full year off and thinking it would change the way you feel about how you collect?
I mean, it would definitely, bring me to a greater appreciation for what I have. Oh man, that would be really tough, of course. But I mean, if it's something I had to do, I'd have to do it. It's not like none of this stuff is unattainable at a later time, So I don't know. It would be kind of simple, I guess. Or I'm rather simple, but not. There's a lot out there, and it would be really, really difficult because I do collect a little of everything. But quit it.
So let me rephrase the question for you, JD, then, because
Sure.
I know you're having kind of trouble with it because you're like, I'm never going to do it, so I don't give a fuck about this question. But let's just say we locked you up in a cell and you had no toys, or we just locked you in your house. Let's say your house currently, and you had
Took
no
the internet
outlet.
away.
I'd be all right with it.
Can't
I'd be
go in and out. You be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, with I always said, like, I'm okay with my Transformers collection. I'm okay with the way it is, as is. Of course, there's new stuff coming out and all that kind of stuff. So, got to check it out here and there. But I mean, the hardest part would just be the newest stuff coming out. Like, I love these sort of collectibles and I want more of them. I love Thousand Toys and I love what they're doing. So I think that would be like one of the more difficult things. Missing out on Mythic Legions, that would be kind of tough. But again, it's not like it's unattainable at a later time.
Pretty interesting. Anybody else? Brian, what do you think? You collect a lot
If
too,
I
so
was- Yeah,
Huh.
if I was to stop, I think I would. It would be, dude. I would move on to something else, and that would be it. If I don't keep stuff fresh, if I don't keep in a rhythm, then I'll just let it all go. I'd close the door to this room. Before I put my toys in here, I never came in this room anyway, so it would kind of be like similar to the same thing. It's very
So
strange.
you know that. So you know that from yourself already that just taking that break, you definitely walk away.
Yeah, when I make a change, I tend to forget everything from what I used to be doing. It's like even when I change jobs, I can't remember like 10 people I used to work with. It's like it's just gone. Like, it's very strange. I don't know why it is that. Maybe it's because I used to drink a lot like 15 years ago, but it was maybe, but it's like it's a weird thing with me. I gotta keep going with it, or that's it. It's over. So that's I don't know. And this has become a very big part of my life for the past few years. So I'm kind of curious what would need to happen in order for me to make a change like that. I don't know. Maybe completing this masterpiece Transformer shelf. Nah. But you know, what if I lost my job or had to be forced to relocate or something? And then I think this is wood because I do not want any of that shit to happen. No, this floor is wood. I'll knock on this floor here real quick. Here we go. So, yeah, and I don't know, man. So, but let's say I did take a break, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember that room. Open the door, come back in. Like, would it rekindle? It's like, I don't know. How far behind would I be? And if I'm behind, would that really? I don't know, because I do kind of have a propensity to get everything I want for a particular line, and a lot of times that means get everything. So
would it be overwhelming for you to say, you know, let me get back in? And if that would be too overwhelming, where you'd be like, I'm too far behind, I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
You know, Brian, I have a question for you, right? Let's say you did give up, right? Let's say this is all hypothetical. 12 months, you stop collecting, and you accumulate a certain amount of money that you would have put towards your collection in a bank account, right?
Yeah.
And then that year's up, and you're like, oh shit, I like this, and I could buy them all. Me, I'd probably be more inclined not to, because I'm like, look at the money I saved. Let me keep this. Like, you know what I mean?
You go to fucking Bahamas.
Okay. What would you do? What would you do with that money, though?
Yeah, I definitely make charts and graphs of the interest accumulating for sure. I know I do that.
Big old mountain of coke.
I don't know, man. I might splurge on a sports car or something. Who knows?
Gary, did you hear that? He said,
I heard. I made a note. Don't worry.
Yeah. And no one's ever gotten back to me about prices for mail order brides, because I mean, could I save up for one of those in a year? I don't know. I don't know. What
Oh yeah. 2 months you get
2
one.
months, is that it?
Yeah, don't worry.
Is that like
mail order bride? Jose, we could
what's that? The Wei Chang model, dude?
Brian.
That'll go live with him. Find a mommy that'll go live with him for food and fucking cable.
What have you done for me lately, Brian?
It also made me think of something else too, like lines like Star Wars and stuff like that. Like, I'd be okay because I don't know. Lately, I've been making a lot of my own figures, so I think that would keep me content building dioramas and making my own figures.
No.
Just wanted to throw that in there because I thought of it.
Hey, Don, what about you, dude? I know you collect.
I have early in my collecting, I did take a year off, and because I was yelled at from my parents, my father, and I felt bad that I basically wasn't saving the money, and for other things that I needed to save for, and I pretty much sold what I had, and I took a year off, and I was like, I felt empty, and I felt bad that I wasn't collecting, and I ended up buying everything that I sold, and I went back into it. So,
wow.
So I just worked a little harder, and I just wanted to make sure that I can do both, and things you need to act. I was trying to find ways to do both, and I just wanted to make sure that I would never be able to give up what I collecting, because I enjoyed it so much. So, and I knew when taking that year off, it was missing in my life, and I was like, I need to collect something. I want to collect something, and I went back to it.
So based off the past experience, so you already know that if you had to stop, I mean, I think we would all miss it. That's, I think, without question.
Yeah.
But can you anticipate what you would? I mean, you said you missed it, so you got back into it. So as soon as that year was over, you just get right back in?
Yeah, like it was about a year and a half where I was just gone from it, because I just had my dad in my head saying, don't spend money on that shit. And eventually when I did save a lot of money, and I was like, going in the direction that he felt that I was supposed to be going in, and I was like, what, I still have enough money to start collecting again if I want to. So, and then I just bought a couple more things, and I told myself it would just be something small and something, not too crazy. And then it just grew from there. And I was like, fuck, I'm back at it again. Full steam.
Yeah.
Now look, you got a warehouse full of stuff you can't display.
There you go.
But that's nice to really come to that realization like a little bit early, that you realize that that's something that makes you happy, and that no matter what anybody else says, like even your parents, sort of denouncing it, you realize it's something that makes you happy, and it's not something that you're going to step away from.
And my dad, like, eventually by my father now understands that it's part of me. This is what I do. So
He's accepted you.
yeah, he's not, but he just didn't want to. I think at that point in my life, when I was in early 20s, it was just he didn't want me to get carried away. He wanted me to focus on certain other things that I should have been focusing at the time. So he felt like I was going to be focusing on this and spending my money on this, and at the end of the day, I won't have money to buy a house or buy a car and do all that stuff.
Thou shalt not commit adulting.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's so the worry. Exactly.
Well, all parents, my dad was looking for me to be a well established work and self-sustain my life and go have things that he's had in life, and he didn't want me to get off track and put myself in debt and not have the ability to do those other things that you would typically would if you were not in debt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Jose, that comment you just put up there from the Broken Baller. So I think that's a key thing. He says he couldn't give it up because he's surrounded by it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Brian,
And-
I'm thinking the same thing you are. Go ahead.
I would have to sign off. If I'm doing this, I would sign off social media, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't watch podcasts. It would constantly suck me back in. I wouldn't be able to resist that impulse.
Yeah. I would probably have to surround myself with something else to get myself not thinking about collecting. I would have to do something else, whether it be picking up, playing more video games, or consuming the time that I would spend on collecting. I would have to do something else to do that, to get away from collecting. Because I would have to not think about it. And the only way, when you break up with a girlfriend, the best thing to do is get another girlfriend. So you don't think about it. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Need a distraction.
When you're crying over, I loved her. No, go get your father walks out the door and goes, get yourself another girl and stop fucking crying. That's kind of what you have to do.
And for me, it was going out. It was going out to the bar every week and fucking drowning my sorrow in fucking vodka.
Yeah.
Dude, every other night.
There's a period of that period. You can stay there for a week or so, and then after get pick yourself back up and find another girl, so you don't have to think about the old one.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So, if we all had to, let's say, be in the scenario that we all just discussed, do you guys think that that's something that you could realistically do, or is that urge, the impulse buy, going to be just too much to overcome? Because we all do it. We're all constantly on our phones or searching the websites, and so the urge to, you're going to say, I need to take a break, but can you really can?
Right. It's a good question to ask, like Gary, right? You just basically said you're basically kind of took a break, or you don't really buy everything. What's it like being surrounded by us fools who buy everything under the fucking sun, and you're just in it, you're there with us the whole time?
So what I found is my buys, like I mentioned, have been less expensive, and because I feel like I don't have the right display for it. I live a little bit vicariously through seeing other people, and then sometimes it's a little bit jealousy is too strong of a word, but I'm like, God, I kind of miss that. It does make me miss it when I see displays or at the show, and I buy one small 6-inch figure of some sort, or I buy 3 or 4 mythics when everybody else buys 10 plus, right? It's that's what I did there. Yeah, but. But it's actually fine, I think, because for me, part of the motivation has been the bigger picture, and that's actually just something I've always, probably to my own detriment of having more fun now. I've always been a planner. I've always been thinking about the future, always having that safety net and what it looks like. So I put my efforts there for the long term. So it helps, I think, knowing that, hey, I'm gonna, I knew living here wouldn't be permanent. I'm going to have a real room with the display. What's that room going to look like? as I've watched other people's display options, you think about that. How can I make it look cool, make it look different? What other stuff do I want to have in there? And to be honest, now that I've kind of got a bit of I'd say probably an 85% clean slate, like I can decide what I want to collect again in greater detail. If I want to go, 1/6 scale or, different stuff, or I don't know. So I like the prospect of that, I guess this was what's kind of got me through.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, man, I'd have to mute all the chats. I think at this point it would be impossible for me to stay away from it, because then I wouldn't talk to you guys. Like, I'd have to not talk to you people, and that would be like kind of impossible at this point, I think.
Yeah, because it's always say like realm of enablers, right? Like I see you guys in the chat all the time, like, oh, just posting it up, being cool, just looking out like, hey, this is available. Look, this is on sale, and so I mean, it's looking out, but true, if you are trying to take that break, that's almost like like if you're a smoker trying to quit and you're hanging around all your buddies that smoke, you know what I'm saying? It's just not gonna be a good look. So so do everybody on the panel like probably say they're gonna have that urge to impulse buy like on during that like self-imposed year of exile, like that urge to be there? Because I know me personally, I sort of doing that now, like, you know what, I'm focused on some other goals, so I'm gonna stop buying like a lot of this expensive shit, but I sort of keep my collection satiated by buying like the Siege stuff, and thankfully I enjoy it, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, okay, like, I'm still getting stuff, so I don't feel like I'm really deprived in a way. And me taking that break from some of the other stuff over time makes me feel like, you know what, I don't really need it, like I could save that money. Like I'm in the midst of that now. So I do see what taking a break can sort of do to your mentality, towards the whole hobby. But I mean, I do still feel that urge. I mean, I'm always on Show Z or on Agabus or, just checking out like the latest stuff. And man, I want this and I want that. But I'm like, no, stay on the goal. On the goal.
I feel if I made that decision in my life to take a break or get out of it, I think I still can talk to you guys and enjoy seeing you guys love the collecting aspect and keep collecting. And I would just be at that point, trying to keep myself away from making those spontaneous, just purchases, and just say, hey, I'm focused on something else. I've done that and I'm moving on to something else. And I could see that me focusing as much as I can commit myself to something. And if I commit myself to that, I can see myself just making sure that I don't collect anymore. But then I want to cut ties with all that. I'll still look at it. I'll probably go to the convention and just walk around and just look at what's out there. But I wouldn't like, I would probably sustain myself from buying anything if I didn't want it, if I was focused on something else.
Two individuals come to mind that, one started collecting, both of them started collecting again, but they took a break. So Tyler sold all his Transformers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Still showed up to TFCon, right?
Yeah.
Was there because he loved it. He knows, the genre, but he just wanted to be with his boys.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it had nothing to do with the toys anymore. It was just more so just the
exactly.
people.
Like I wouldn't like miss that. Like I would go to TFCon just to hang out with you guys and just shoot the shit and have fun, because we go there to look at toys and buy toys, but like some of those nights and just hanging out, it's just a lot of fucking fun. Like we built friendships to the point where it's like, why would I miss that? Like why would I stop myself from going there because I'm not collecting toys anymore? So
it's kind of like I don't drink alcohol, but a lot of my friends, they play in bands at bars or whatever the case is. I don't have any problem going there,
going to the bar and watching them play. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Well, I was just going to say the same thing. It's like you really can live with vicariously through other people to a degree too, because the stuff's there. So like, how many times we had a show and someone buys something, they open it up, you get to see what it looks like. They're messing around with it, or when you're at someone's house and you can check out something in their collection too. Sometimes it backfires where you're like, oh, I got to own this, right? I got to have this myself. I need one of these also. But sometimes for me, just seeing it that way was like enough. I got to see it in someone else's display. maybe got to handle it a little bit and look at it very carefully. It's it kind of can satiate some of that. So
Yeah, Gary, you reminded me of the other person was Asian Kid Matt. So I remember when he sold all his Dragon Ball Z figures,
Mhm.
and it was like,
And
holy
his
shit, he sold
masterpiece.
them all. And then last
And his
year at an NJCC, he bought one off of me. I was like, I want this. I should have never sold them. So
Oh,
it was
look at
kind of
you.
like,
You nailed
it
her.
was like a catch 22.
Got him back
'cause
on the
it's like,
crack.
fuck, I quit, but I'm still hanging with these dudes who have this shit. So maybe I'll buy one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, but like, what I would find hard to do is just like, if I did make that decision and got out of it, I would want to skinny down. Like, I'll probably sell a lot, but I would keep a few. But like, I would just make an effort to sell everything. Like, I wouldn't want to keep what I have, all of it. Like, I wouldn't keep all. I would just definitely get rid of some, because then it would probably trigger me to do or buy something that I don't want to buy or get back into it if I see it around myself. That's kind of like, I know that I would do that to myself.
So let me ask you guys this question. It kind of ties into it a little bit. And again, I'm going to be the odd guy a little bit. But so when we were at ToyCon and we were at the Mythics table, I remember Brian was on my right and I was debating between like two characters. And then he enabled me, right? And I bought, two of a figure that I had no intention of buying, right? But I remember staring, and trying to decide like a kid, like, because that's how it was for me when I was little. I was like, I can't get all these G.I. Joes, so I have to pick one. And then trying to make sure I made the right choice. Everyone on this panel, right, is in a pretty good position as an adult. But do you miss that? Like, is it more fun to be able to buy pretty much what you want? Do you think
it
or,
is? That's what I love about it when I'm an adult, because I
You
don't
know-
have anyone saying you can't buy it.
Right,
So
but
as
I'm
an
saying-
adult, I love that I can have the capability of buying.
But
whatever I
when
want.
posed with the question from Dave, JD had a good point earlier of, hey, he would be content and he looked forward to appreciating what he did have already if he wasn't constantly adding more stuff to it. So do you think
Well,
that could be fun to
that's-
limit yourself with restrictions?
Gary, like I've thought about that. It's crossed my mind, like minimalizing my collection. Like if I was to like give up and just maybe keeping like the main Star Wars cast from the original movie, maybe some of the bounty hunters, and then fuck everything else. Maybe keep a Devastator, an Optimus, and a Megatron, and calling it a day. But
Soundwave.
but I've played with that idea, but then when you start looking at everything else, you're like,
Yeah,
no, but it
like-
looks so cool when it's so
Dude,
much. Like, it's
We
like,
all
fuck.
know that we ran through that thought process and said, I can live with just Optus and Megatron. Oh no,
Yep.
maybe Soundwave. I definitely need Soundwave.
Yeah.
If I need Soundwave, I definitely need. You run through the characters, and all of a sudden you're
Need
back where you
Starscream.
started. Yeah, you're back
Yeah.
where you started. Like, well, there's all my collection.
That's what happened to me with the.
For me, it was always why don't I make the rest of these guys? Like, why do I only see whatever 6 of them on the shelf? That's how it was for me anyway. It was never I'll be content with just this guy and this guy, and I was like, why aren't the rest of these made? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why don't they fill the gap?
And Gary, back to your point, standing at that Mythics table, like I go there and I do feel guilty. Like, no, I bring money to pretty much buy everything I want, but I don't. It's like I do hold back, and it's like, I only need one. I don't need both. But the problem is when you make that second trip to the table, because your
true.
arms are
Yes.
no longer full, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, it's like a clean slate. It's like if you were younger and you would bar hop, you'd get kind of really drunk at the first bar, then you go to the next bar and you're like, oh, starting from square one again, but you forget
It's
you're
the-
already drunk, and
it's
it
the
just
shit- it's-
in your night gets fucking crazy.
It's the
But,
shopping cart. It's a shopping cart theory where if you walk into a food market and you bring a shopping cart, you want to fill it up. So it's like, don't bring the shopping cart and just take what you find yourself walking out with less.
So I think that's why anyone who's been to a show with me knows I love putting my money in like separate envelopes. So I totally do. Like, okay, like I'll put X amount of money in an envelope and put it in my pocket, and that's what I'm going to shop with, right? And if
Mazel tov.
but I'll have but I'll have like another allotment, right? Like kind of someplace else that I can go get if I need it. But it makes me really think like, hey, I really, have to go back out to the car and go dig it out or whatever it looks like. I don't know. I realize it's just all like little mental tricks and stuff, but
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah.
Got to go back and reload, but it's like, do I really need to reload?
exactly right. Do I really want to crack open this other envelope?
Brian, who are you kidding? You do that even online with Mythics.
Yo, yeah,
Dude, that in stock sales are fucking dangerous.
it is, and it's not good in sitting next to Dom during that
No,
because
don't sit
Dom's
next to
picking
me.
up everyone, and then he's like, "You need to get 2 of that one because it comes with 2 heads."
I have
that one
I
comes
have a
with the
game
extra
plan.
this and that, so you have to get 3 of those, and I'm just like, "Fuck, you're right." Like before you know it, I'm spending all my money at the Mythic table.
Yeah, I'm bad when it comes. Like I already have a game plan: scenario A, scenario B, scenario C, and when I walked to that table and I saw what they had, I already knew which ones I was going to grab and how many of them I'm going to grab, and then I just buy them all at that one time. I didn't even go back the second time and buy anything. I just knew what I needed. I grabbed them all and just called it a day. But
Well, look
yeah,
at that. Well,
but I understand what you're saying, Gary. It's do more with less and enjoy what you have, because at the end of the day, that if you keep putting more or adding to the pile, you might not enjoy the ones that are at the bottom.
Sometimes, right?
yeah.
I completely understand.
Yeah, I think that.
I've been in that predicament where some days it's just the faucet is turned up high and figures are flowing in like crazy, and sometimes some get missed, and I don't have time to play them as I would if the faucet was turned down low.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Like, especially, I think Brian just got a big old box of fun, I think yesterday, and times when I have gotten a lot of things like in a short span or all together, ultimately something is going to get neglected. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and when you do get an abundance of stuff, things are going to get lost, I think, where you're not just going to be able to enjoy it. So then it's almost like, what's the point of having it? But some of you guys are sort of like experienced and whatnot, just in relation to the topic we were talking about earlier, like if you had to take a break or whatnot, or slow down your collecting, what are some of the ways that you could find a balance and stay in the game? Like, are there things you have to maybe give up in your day-to-day life in order to maybe keep buying toys, or is there anything that you're willing to give up that you maybe enjoy on a daily basis in order to keep your toy collection going?
Like that ramen noodle shit.
Like when you're in college, right? Like as they say,
Yep.
you eat ramen noodles.
No steak for you tonight.
That's a fucking good point, Tom. Like, I found myself falling back into the buying lunch every day out of my pocket,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Mhm.
and that amounts to a lot. It's like $10 a day, at least in New York it is, or more. That's fucking $200 a month.
Yep.
That I'm spending on lunch, and that's $200 that I can buy a hot toy, a fucking masterpiece and a half, or fucking 6 fucking Mythic Legions.
Listen, take this for what you will.
Yeah.
But any selling organization, look, it's a trade-off. So if someone has a specific budget for a vehicle, for a mortgage, for rent, for whatever that might look like, and you find something you want and it exceeds what you set for your budget, you start thinking about alternatives that way. And it's just your point, Dave. I see it every day. Well, do you eat out for lunch all the time? Well, what if you only ate out twice a week and took your lunch for 3 days?
Right.
Or when your customer comes in and they've got Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks, I'm like, oh yeah, I love Starbucks myself. How often do you go? And they're like, oh, I have to go every day. I'm like, well, fair enough. What does that add up to in the course of a week? And can you just go once as a treat and then, make a Keurig at the house, right? And then take it with you in a travel cup. It's, it's pretty, there's a lot of ways. It just depends what you want more. I think is what it comes down to, and how you choose to do it that way.
Yeah. And you gotta like wake up a little bit. Don't be so lazy. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Like, like make your dinner, pack your lunch the night before. That way you don't forget it. My thing is, I'm running late. I gotta fucking get to work, and then whatever. I'm ordering fucking lunch at 12:30, and here's my $12 because you gotta add for tip, and before you know it, you're fucking $50 in at the end of the week.
Yeah, sometimes saving money isn't. It's hard work saving money. Like it doesn't come for free. It doesn't come easy.
Yeah, but basically the penance you pay is not being able to save that money, and it's like, no, I have to get up on time, right? I can't be running late. It
Mhm.
kind of helps you to
Mhm.
be more disciplined in that regard too.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean, it's easy to fall into those patterns though, because I've done it myself, like eating out every day at work. You know, me and Jesse sort of going back and forth on who treats for lunch on any particular day. You know, if you sleep a little bit later, oh, now I got to take a cab to work, like sort of thing. Like I know most of you guys drive. You know, I don't have a car. You know what I'm saying? So things like that do tend to add up when you start to look at those expenses at the end of the month. You're like, holy shit, that would have been a car payment or something, or that could have been a fucking Unicron that I could have paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
it's crazy.
you know, someone might say that I can't. You know, again, it's choices. So it is whatever makes you happy. That's fantastic. But you're right. Like I've often done the thing sometimes where when I was trying to budget for something that was more expensive, like a toy or a collectible, where I again, everyone laughs at me, but I was going to spend $20 on a Marvel Legends because I was bored and I just wanted something new to open and mess around with. I'll just not buy it and I'll put that money like aside, and as if I did spend it, right? You know, and then you do that over 2 or 3 or 4 instances, and before you know it, you know, you've got a good chunk of that more expensive item. But I think it's part of that is that addiction we have, and the either thrill of the hunt, or you know, wanting something new to open, or just something to mess around with, or the high from the purchase. So it's always trying to. It's a fine line, that's for sure. I think.
Yeah. And the funny thing, Jose, getting back to the questions, like some things I do is like I think in cash flow perspective. So like I know, like with the regards of what's coming out a lot, like there's a lot of shit coming out this year, and it's like to watch what you're interested in, what your pre-orders are and everything like that, and asking yourself, do I have to buy this now, or can I wait 3 months, or you know, do I need to buy this now, or can I wait 3 months? Because from a cash flow perspective, I might not be able to buy all this shit this 1 month. And if I can hold off on these 5 items and wait until like, you know, the end of the year where I have a little bit more cash in my pocket because of such and such, I might start looking at it at that perspective, and that's what I've been doing. Like I've been going through my pre-orders and saying, you know, I want this, but I know it's not going to sell out right away. I know I might even catch it up at the end and get a discount for it, or it might be a sale. And we're doing that right now, Brian, like with the Mega Construct Masters of the Universe fucking Grayskull Castle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm holding off on buying that because I just can't put another $300 or $250 down on a piece like that. I really want it, but I'd rather let it go slide for a couple months and see if I can pick it up at the back end, and when I do have the cash. So those are little things that I do to kind of, you know, gear on cash flow perspective and seeing, you know, where can I spend my money? Where are things coming in? The things that I want, are they going to sell out real quick where I know? Oh yeah, funny. Yeah, funny. I knew you were going to do that shit.
Saving money on Grayskull Castle.
Yeah.
No, but Dom, like, you bring up a good point. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you have to think about what you're gonna do before you do it. You know what I mean?
Like I said, you can't go blind into collecting, because at the end of the day, if you have that mindset that you're gonna buy everything when you want it, and you're gonna go broke, and then you're gonna be like finding yourself in debt, and you're gonna be like, okay, what the fuck did I do?
Yep.
And at the end of the day, you're gonna be selling stuff on a fucking dirty fucking mattress and saying, you know, all these fucking Marvel Legends are for sale.
Mattress.
I'm just saying. What, I say mattress wrong? Go fuck yourself. I think you need a new headset.
I thought I heard mattress. You know, which is what Batman called his mattress. You know, the 66 mattress.
No, mattress.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I like that's. I think those are some tips, like, you know, that I do now. When I was as in the beginner in this collecting, I would just buy everything right away and fall into a trap and saying, why the fuck did I buy it right away when I could have just waited a couple months and got it for cheaper, or I would have been able to buy it and save myself on cash flow.
Yeah. Do you guys have like a something that you can name like real quick, just going down the panel, like a daily vice that you would be willing to give up if you had to sort of collect? Like if you had no other means and you had to give something up that you enjoyed every day to buy
Cable.
toys, what would it be?
I would give up cable.
Cable?
Yeah.
Cable
I don't want-
TV.
I don't need to watch that shit.
Yeah,
I
that's
pay
a good
for it
one.
all the time.
See, you have
Especially
have
the
the
Cody,
option to
especially
cancel
the
it
Cody
though.
out there.
Like,
Well, I would cancel it, but I don't.
yeah, but
cancel it.
your wife's not going to let you cancel it because she's the
Yeah,
one
she
using
will.
it.
Yeah,
You know, that's
yeah.
that's my thing. I don't watch TV most of the time, but my kid and my wife do. She's on Bravo 24/7, and my kid's on fucking whatever fucking kid channel she's watching. You know, so
Yeah.
I couldn't even get rid of it if I wanted to.
That's real. I cut cable for like a year because I had a neighbor with an open Wi-Fi signal. So I was like, oh, I can still game online. I'm good. I got my Netflix and all that shit. Like I'm chilling. And then once that shit locked up and Jesse was like here on a regular basis, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get television. She's bored. Like I can't, she ain't gonna watch all these movies that I got. You know what I'm saying? Like had to.
I was gonna say something really mean, Dave. I was gonna be like, "Why don't you just punch your wife in both eyes, and then she can't watch shit?"
Oh my goodness.
I'm just sorry.
That
I'm
would
just
come
sorry.
from Dom.
I'm
Dom.
sorry.
That's something Dom fucking
I
would say.
kid. I kid. I kid. I kid.
I don't know.
Right.
I like smoking is really my only vice. I don't do any drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't pay for fucking cable. I mean, we have internet, but
Mhm.
that's like my only vice to really give up, I guess.
So the smoking. So would you give up smoking if you had to, like in order to
Dude, it's
keep?
hard. I need to do it. I know I need to do it now as is.
I mean, yes, you should. Yes, you should.
It's so
Jose,
hard.
you know I don't smoke the same thing JD does, and I would not stop for fucking toys. Sorry.
I know. Dude, I did actually though. That's funny. Like years ago, I did. I'm like, you know what? Like, let me just chill. Like, you know what? Because Jesse used to smoke cigarettes, and we both did. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, we need to stop this shit. But I was still smoking fucking weed and shit. And I felt bad because I'm like, all right, I'm lighting up. And I'm sure she feels it, because she smoked for fucking 20 years. And she really sort of did it cold turkey. So I sort of felt bad that I'm like lighting up in front of her and she must be feeling it. So I was like, all right, I'm going to quit this shit too. Dude, quit for like almost a year and a half, almost a couple of years. And that's almost, I think it was around the same time when I got back into collecting. Cause now I'm like, shit, now I got all this shit to show for my fucking money. It's not just fucking up in smoke. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely made a difference. I was like, that's how I bought and got into all the third party shit. It coincided with the time that I stopped spending so much on that shit. And, made a difference, man. Made a fucking big difference. Now it's like I could afford to do both, so it's like, like I don't know if I'd give it up now, but we'll see. School.
Well, isn't that like the paradigm? It's like if you can, when you find yourself that you can do both, you tend to do both. Like I'm saying, you there's no means of you saying, I'm not going to. I'm at this time I can afford to do both, but then there's at that particular time you're not going to find yourself saying I'm going to stop this now because I know it's not I don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like when you find yourself in that predicament where you can't do both, you eventually drop one of and then just continue on the one that's more important to do.
Right.
To yourself. So it's like when you're when the days when you're in your high life and you can afford it and you're doing it, you take on as much as you can, and then when hard times do fall yourself, you do what you can, and at the end of the day, things fall off the plate because the more important things stay on. So
hey, I hate to interrupt you, but I haven't.
No, I'm done. I'm done, Brian.
The analyzer in me is going crazy. Jose, you just highlighted that comment. You see all the crap at the end?
Yeah.
Now, do you see actual emoticons on your screen, or do you see the square?
No, I see the emoticons.
I see the emojis.
I see the emojis.
So, I don't know what's going on, but like for the last month, I haven't been able to see emojis in the YouTube chat.
You need to update, yeah.
But the funny thing is you're sharing it on a screen and it's still not showing it to me. That's a screen share. How does that not work? That's
Right.
fucking weird.
Yeah,
Time for an upgrade.
That travels
But
with
it's
you,
on my
Brian.
computer. How? What? Do I have to upgrade the fonts on my computer? Is that why I'm
Travels with
getting
you,
the?
Brian.
Is that why I'm getting the spitting noise? Because my
Yeah.
fucking fonts are
It's
fucked up?
Probably.
It's time to move on to Windows 10, Brian. Come on.
No, man, they support it. They support it for like 5 more months. Fucking stay it.
Well, guys, great discussion tonight. Before we wrap up, we do have New Jersey Collectors Con this coming weekend in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I think everybody on the panel's going to be down there this weekend. Am I right?
Yep.
Man, dude, I am psyched. Like, I'm at that point where I can't focus at work. I got 3 more days of work, and it's like I don't care. It's like they're like giving me stuff to do. I'm just like, no, weekend's
Monday.
coming. Weekend's coming.
Bother me Monday. Don't
Yeah.
give me this shit now.
All right. Well, just a quick reminder, guys, if anybody's in the tri-state area, just try to come through. The Realm is going to be there in full force. We do have the Rock Block going on inside the main showroom. So, come in. There's going to be a lot of goodies on sale. All of us from BTM are going to be there in person. Dust, Chris from Enter the Realm, a bunch of other members as well going to come through and hang out. So if you're in the tri-state area, make sure you come through. It's this Sunday, August 18th. Early bird starts at 8 o'clock. General admission at 10 a.m. At the Holiday Inn, 2175, I think, West Marlton Pike in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. So Google it. You'll find it. We're all going to be there this weekend. I think some of us are getting in Saturday night, too. So Saturday evening.
Yep.
We're going to hang out for a little bit, and the show is a one-day show this coming Sunday. Shout out to Fran. He was in the chat tonight chopping it up with the rest of the fam. So, like I said, if you guys could come through, please definitely try to make it down.
It's a good time.
Yes,
Yep.
it is.
Yes, yep, it always is. So, all right, guys, I think we could wrap it up for the evening. We could run it down the line, get some where you at, and then, of course, as always, we'll throw a hangout link in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group if anybody listening wants to hop in, chop it up with us. I think the panel will be hanging out for a little while tonight. So, with that said, first up, Energon Addict. I'll start with you, Pop.
Yo, here on Tuesdays, Energon Addict on Instagram. Come through this weekend if you want to hang out with any of us. We usually have a good time. So if you want to come Saturday night, chop it up, eat some dinner with us, come through. If not, come Sunday for the show. I'm sure it's going to be a good one.
Yo, Dave, I got a bone to pick with you before we go.
What's up?
What is your issue with like chats and like once you like hearing everybody talk and chat up a little bit and it's like getting a little bit ridiculous, you just drop out of the chat and you say, "Yep, I'm out," and then you leave. And
all right,
because you did like 3 chats today and you just dropped out of the 3 chats. And oh, by the way, you did it for Mythic Legions and then you came back in.
All right, so
made down feel a certain way.
The Mythic Legion chat, right? The Mythic Legion chat was just getting a little too much. I couldn't even catch up with it, right? So I'm in the BTM chat. I'm in the Jackal Squad chat. I'm in numerous chats.
I know you're in numerous chats. I know you're so very popular.
You want to be a dick about this, right?
So, no. You're being a dick because you're leaving the chats. Because you're like dropping out.
All right, Dom, you gonna let me answer? You're not.
Okay, I will let you answer.
So
I'll let you answer.
So you have all these fucking chats going on. Your phone's constantly going off. I have other responsibilities at work and shit like that. With the Mythic chat, I just needed a break. I asked to be, guys put me back in, and I'm in. I haven't left. Right? Yeah. I'm in there, but I just needed a break. Now these other chats.
Who fucking let you back in? Who let you back in?
Doesn't matter. I'll kick you out. So. No, listen up for a second. I started a chat for this weekend, New Jersey Comic Con.
You did,
and I put Dominic, Riddler Circle, and EE Prime in there, right?
You did.
Which, if I don't tell them what I'm doing, each individual will hit me up 15 times before the weekend's over, find out what I'm doing. So I said, "Hey, this is what I'm doing. What are you guys doing?" Everybody gave me fucking. And I love you all, but you gave me fucking stupid ass fucking answers. Oh, my wife is gonna let me go, and then you're making too many trips. I don't think I can go. Then all of a sudden, you guys hear about everybody else fucking going. And you're like, oh, maybe I should go.
Dude,
And I'm telling them,
Dave,
this is what I'm fucking doing. Okay. So once that's done and you know what I'm doing and you're doing your own thing, why do I need to be in a chat? You guys are talking about other stupid shit. If you want to talk to each other, no. The reality of it is, Dom, I have my one-on-one chats with you all day long. I'm already talking. I talk to Eric constantly, and Ian I speak to individually too. I don't need to speak all three of you at the same time talking about what fucking Marvel Legend is in the fucking thing. So I bounced out of the fucking chat.
Dude, I just love you, bro. Dude, you started a chat. You tell us how much you love us, and then five more messages go through on what Eric wants to us to grab or look for, and then all of a sudden you're like, "I'm out."
You know what's happening right now? People are adding me to chats because you fucking opened your mouth.
Yes.
I'm fucking getting it. I'm getting welcomes to chats as we speak. Fuck you guys, you know? Like, come on. If I can't keep up in the chat, I'm gonna bounce out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has nothing.
There
to
is
do
a
with
mute
who's
button.
in there.
You can just mute it, and then
I'm mute button, and then all right, JD. This is dude.
I do this.
You have a chat with the guys that you do your fucking show with, and you catch up 2 days later and wonder, oh, come on, I didn't hear about that.
Oh,
How hard is it to fucking catch up on chats when you're out of the loop for a fucking few hours?
I have I have everything muted except for us.
Oh God.
Everything is
You're sleeping. You're sleeping half the time that we're talking. So how the fuck do you read it anyway?
It's fine.
Then JD will come in and get all defensive. I'd be like, hey guys, just so you know, I was coming. I'm like, dude, that was like fucking 6 hours ago. Where the fuck are you? We're beyond that now.
Yeah,
I'll
but
tell you,
JD last week, 2 weeks ago, I think it was what was it? It was when the new Legions dropped. You came in, you're like, blah blah blah, new toys, blah blah blah. Dave hates Dom, blah blah blah. Dom hates Dave, blah blah blah. Brian's being an asshole. It's like it's the same thing every day anyway. I was rolling, man. I had to leave my desk and like go compose myself.
So just the end point is if you start a chat with Dave and you're in a group with Dave and Dave leaves you,
He's gonna leave it.
He's gonna leave it, and don't get offended.
And a month later, he's gonna ask you to put you back in there.
Maybe he'll come back.
Where's the snowflake shit? all right. Energon Addict all over social media, right?
Yep.
You said all that?
Yeah, I said all that.
Sorry,
Okay.
Dave.
All right.
Yeah, laugh at my expense. Ha 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 ha.
All right. She analyzed the Brian Brink.
So Gary, I know you want to go to bed, but I do have a question for you.
Ooh, I started something.
Everybody's airing their grievances here.
Right.
I want to know what a sofa table is. Is that a coffee table for people who don't drink coffee?
No, it's like a coffee table. It's a tall, thinner table that generally goes behind your couch. So it's designed so if you have a couch or
That's
like a
what it's
love
called.
seat that's not against the wall, right? That's what you
Fucking
kind of put behind it, for that, right? So
Gotcha.
So Gort has added me to like 3 chats and taken me out of them all at the same time.
Love you, Gort.
that's
Didn't
good.
even give me an opportunity to hang around for a bit.
That's it. That's all you get. 3 seconds.
Oh yes, and Brinkalezer on Instagram at Brian Brink in the Facebook groups. Or I got that backwards, maybe I don't know. And no banging of the plastic toys tomorrow night. So sorry.
All right. G Money.
Yeah. Let's see. Gary Allen on Facebook. I do have an Instagram. I don't really do much with it except scroll occasionally. But I'll see you guys at the show this weekend for sure.
All right.
All right. I like the sky. It is blue. Let them know.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
every Tuesday here with these fellas. Every other Wednesday on Figure Banging, Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live. And like Brian said, no Figure Banging tomorrow.
That's it. Ace had emergency.
The hate train ran out of fuel.
Yep. I'm not gonna start any shit with anybody before we leave here. So
All right.
I'm just kidding. He's like, me?
Listen. It's all love. It's all love, right?
Yeah, there you go.
We love y'all. We love you. All right, Dominic, let him know.
Dominic Ross in the groups, and Tuesdays here with you fellas. And I will be at NJCC enjoying each and one of your companies.
Yes, we will be there too as well.
I know. Thank you.
I didn't say that in my thingy. So.
I know.
And if anybody wants to come out for the thing, I know Chan said something about it yesterday, but August 24th is the Hershey show. So if anybody's coming,
That's right.
please let us know so we know who's coming. I'll remind everybody next week, I'm sure. But
All right, and that's Saturday.
yes,
Okay, is it a 2-day show or a 1-day show?
I want to say it's 2 days. I think.
But it's Saturday is the day that you're picking, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Put you in my itinerary.
All right.
Sweet. All right, guys. And as for myself, Harrican BX on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out Verbally Challenged on all audio platforms. Here every single Tuesday night with these fine gentlemen. Guys, remember, check out the website, realmofcollectors.com. The Rockbox pre-orders went live yesterday, guys. The 2019 Rockbox, I think you're going to really like what we got in store for you guys. This is the 4th annual Rockbox. It's going to be packed with limited edition rock goodies, including 2 brand new t-shirt designs only available in the Rockbox. We usually, with our t-shirts, we're usually one and done. So, you place an order, get it in. If it's a special design, we usually don't put those out again. So 2 exclusive brand new Realm of Collectors t-shirts are included in this rock box. Make sure you get your pre-orders in because limited quantities are available. If you pre-order, you get to basically assure that you're going to get the size that you need. Anything after the fact, we're going to probably have a large, an extra large, which are the kind of sort of like the usual suspects as far as shirts. If anybody that needs a little bit smaller, a little bit larger, make sure to get your pre-order in. Order today at realmofcollectors.com. Pre-orders are going to close in just a few weeks, September 2nd. International shipping is available. $60 for this rock box if you pick it up in Reston at the iRock meetup at TFCon, and $70 shipped anywhere in the continental US. And anybody that's picking up their pre-order in Reston is going to get an automatic entry into the $200 Agabus drawing at TFCon, Washington, D.C. and Reston, Virginia. So, get your orders in while you can, guys. Quantities are limited. Trust me, we usually sell out of these things, and I think everybody for the past 3 years have been very happy with what they've been getting with the rock box. You're definitely going to get your money's worth. So we're also on Facebook as a group, Realm of Collectors. Remember to follow us on Instagram at Realm of Collectors, and be sure to check out Crashbox Customs on social media for all your Mezco and diorama needs. Be sure to mention the word Realm when placing an order. You'll get a surprise gift with your purchase. This show, Breaking the Mold, is also a proud part of the Cool Table Network, so please pull up a chair. It's a network hub for like-minded podcasts, including Shattercast Uncut, Enter the Realm, Toy Detox, Beer and Bolters 40K, Plastic Fanatics, Stasis Lock, Nerd Rage Radio, Fresh Communication, building up to it 8 weeks, and Verbally Challenged. You can find the Cool Table page on Facebook, along with links to all those other awesome podcasts. So that's going to do it for us this week, guys. Again, the link to the ROT Hangout will be posted in the Realm of Collectors Facebook group. And with that, we'll see you guys next week. All right.
Hey, JD, make a chat for your Hershey Park thing and invite Dave.
Okay.
There we go. There we go.
Say it with me now. Realm
real?
Here.
Don't say that was real, Dave.
It
Was
was-
that real?
Just totally-
What?
I thought. Did you fart?